Las Vegas adult nightclub industry already hurting because of the slow economy has been slapped with a massive lawsuit by one of its own colleagues.
Yeah, the suit alleges the clubs are breaking the law by paying cab and limo drivers a bounty for bringing them customers. Now, oddly enough, the clubs probably hope the lawsuit succeeds, since they say they are being forced to pay the drivers or else face financial ruin.
George Knapp of the I-Team is here with his investigation.
We know times are tough for Las Vegas taxi drivers. Tourism is down, as are their tips, so they do what they must to survive. No one wants to see the drivers hurt, but nightclub owners have long complained that the drivers are using mafia-style tactics, pay up or else, like a protection racket. The lawsuit filed on behalf of one company is something the entire industry is probably rooting for. Outside a downtown hotel, TV producer Ian Russell hails a taxi and during the drive to the Strip asks the driver about kickbacks paid by adult nightclubs.
When we take a person to the strip club, then like 4 guys, right? The strip club will pay us $50 a person to drop them off. It doesn't matter where.
But it does matter to the drivers. Clubs that don't pay or pay less than what others shell out don't get the cabs. It's been this way for years in Las Vegas. Club owners say it's extortion, pay or else, but they keep on paying and are mostly reluctant to openly criticize the drivers, who, as we learned over and over, aren't shy about talking at all.
How much is it to get in, by the way? I think how much would it be? $30 to get in? Okay. And that's free. And the cab's free? Why is the cab free? Yeah, because it's 60. So that's why I want to go get you, know?
It's one thing for a club to hand out cash or freebies as a thank you. It's another for drivers to demand it. Recently, one club owner hired a team of private investigators to see if drivers would divert customers to someplace that pays better. Hundreds of cab rides were taken. The faux customers asked to be taken to Little Darlings or Deja Vu, both owned by the same company. Yet, again and again, the drivers made up stories about why the passengers needed to go somewhere else.
They say that our girls are old, fat, and ugly, that they've got bullet holes, or, they just make up all kinds of stories. That the place is closed down, that it burnt down. They say take us to Deja Vu, and they're diverted to another club, half a mile away and dropped off, saying, this is as close as I can get you.
How often does it happen?
Hundreds of times a night, I'm sure.
Deja Vu still pays drivers $20 per passenger delivered, but that's less than the $50 to $70 some of the larger clubs pay. Most of the clubs say they're struggling to stay in the black, and that the money they pay the drivers represents their profit. How much is it? For the first time, club executives have shared the information with someone outside the business, the I-Team. According to industry sources, these are the amounts paid out, on average, by the 9 largest gentlemen's clubs over the past year. The amounts range from a high of $600,000 a month by the largest clubs down to $100,000 a month for the smaller venues. On average, the 9 clubs say they pay a total of nearly $3.5 million a month, every month, all of it in cash and for the most part unreported. It's not only a drain on the businesses, but also on tourists, at a time when visitor volume here is way down.
It hurts the tourists. It's costing tourists money.
Those cab drivers have a dirty little secret.
This video ad runs in select hotels to let potential customers know how things work here.
They're getting up to $80 to take you to those other places.
The clubs that paid for this ad know they're risking the wrath of cab and limo drivers. They've seen it before. For years, the kickbacks were deemed illegal, but then were changed back. Drivers have always said the system is not extortion. But when there was talk of enforcing the anti-kickback law, the drivers staged a massive slowdown on the Strip and threatened to shut down the airport. Drivers say the money is rightfully theirs.
How come they're doing it to us, That is an extra income that they take from our pocket,
But why should strip clubs be forced to pay, asks attorney Neil Beller. Based in part on the undercover investigation by private eyes, Beller put together a massive lawsuit, one that names 12 of the largest adult clubs in town, the clubs that pay the most money. Beller argues that what the clubs are doing is still illegal.
Effectively, you're prohibited from giving gratuities or giving, if you will, money to the cab drivers for diverting business to other clubs.
Beller says he has ample proof that diversion is the norm, not an exception. He also thinks the clubs he's suing are probably hoping the lawsuit succeeds so they can all stop paying a bounty.
The bottom line is, it just needs to stop.
The drivers insist they're not practicing extortion, but if you try to stop the kickbacks, they threaten to shut down the whole town. It kind of sounds like extortion, and some drivers have resorted to outrageous tactics. Tomorrow at 5, we'll tell you a few of those stories. Plus, we'll put the Taxi Cab Authority on the spot to hear why they don't even try to enforce existing laws. And we'll report on the players who are the absolute villains in this tale, according to the drivers and the club.